A major restaurant company is backing down on a controversial uniform policy. It forced female workers to wear short, tight dresses, and even though some of them complained, the company only agreed to change after an employee decided to go public. So, can a restaurant force a server to wear this kind of skimpy uniform? And when you've been out for dinner, maybe you've seen uniforms like that. Barbara Green is an employment lawyer. She represents the woman at the center of this case, and she is right here in studio. So the company has said now the servers have what? A choice.
Now they have a choice, and the female servers can dress exactly the same as the male servers.
Describe for me how the female and male uniforms differed.
How they used to look. So female servers had a very tight bathing suit-like substance dress. It was quite short. Sleeveless, so their arms were completely exposed. And I understand that the material was quite see-through, so that underwear lines were exposed under the dress.
Okay, and the boys, the men?
And the men could wear jeans, a button-down conservative shirt, and Converse sneakers.
So now the women have the option. I want to know if you've been getting a lot of reaction because this one server decided to go public and say, hey, not fair.
First of all, I want to compliment my client for being so brave and coming forward. It's a hard challenge to take on when you have to come in day by day, and there's been tremendous positive support for her. I'm very proud for her, and I also want to commend Kara for quickly changing the uniform.
You mentioned it's difficult for clients to come forward. Why so?
Well, obviously it's difficult to come in day after day when you're in a dispute with your employer.
Now, you could face repercussions, I suppose. Is that the worry as well?
That's, of course, a concern for every employee, and the code does provide protection in that regard, so that theoretically an employee isn't supposed to face repercussions for bringing forward the protection under the code. That being said, if you're reprimanded or terminated, it would take a while to bring that complaint forward. So that's always a concern that an employee has, and it's a real concern.
And in the service industry as well, you know, you get shifts sometimes here and there, right? You pick up a shift Monday, you get one Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What if they just start stopping giving you those extra shifts? Could that also be reason, if you complain about a uniform, to go further with the complaint?
Absolutely, because again, as I stated previously, the code provides protection in that regard to an employee who seeks to enforce their code-protected rights.
How common is this kind of a case, you know, where the uniforms differ and in such a blatantly different way?
I think it's becoming more pervasive now. I mean, people have been commenting to me and sending me emails this morning saying that this is becoming very commonplace. So I'm sure the concerns are becoming increasingly common as well.
Do you expect there to be further fallout then?
I think with respect to other restaurants, potentially, because Kara is setting an excellent example of what should be done in the circumstances. So I'm hoping that other female servers will be similarly brave to my client in coming forward and raising their concerns.
Now, when this story came forward and you decided to take on this case, was it a first for you, this kind of uniform discrepancy?
It absolutely was a first for me. But again, I'm very proud, and I'll say this again, of my client for seeking legal counsel in this regard.
And what were your thoughts? You know, were you, it might be something we don't even notice. You know, when we go out for dinner, do you notice what the server is wearing? Do you actually look at somebody's uniform and make a decision over dinner, is that appropriate or inappropriate? It might be one of those things, you know?
Well, interestingly enough, a lot of people who've been writing to me are saying that they did in fact notice. And my understanding from dealing with my client is that customers were concerned about the new uniforms. So they were noticing too.
Final question for you. Do you think restaurants now will take, and I don't mean to just pick on the service industry, but that is one where we see, you know, people coming out front to deal with the public. Do you think other service industries and restaurants in particular will take note of this kind of case and re-look at their own uniform policy?
It is my hope that they will. It's my hope that my client coming forward and, you know, dealing with Kara in this regard will call attention to the issue.
All right. Thanks so much, Barbara. Appreciate having you in studio.
My pleasure.
Barbara Green is an employment lawyer in Toronto. She joined us right here in studio. If you